Hi guys, it's time to do the happy dance because it's the end of Unit 7. So that means that you're going to have a test coming up soon. It might be online with your teacher or it might be in class. Today would typically be a test day. So instead, we're going to do a nice big review so that you feel ready for it. Because sometimes people feel scared about tests, but tests shouldn't be scary. It's an opportunity to show what you know, to show off everything you learned or didn't learn, to let your teacher know what they need to help you with and teach you next time. Okay, so nothing to be scared of, just be prepared instead. Okay, let's start with a nice, thorough warm up. Let's do all of our vowel sounds and a couple others. Okay, here we go. Repeat after me. A apple A safe A acorn A Alaska a wash a squash E ed E p E me I itch I pine I high There's another one. I animal or Nice job. O octopus O home Oh no Oh, we forgot to bring you down. We can't leave that little vowel out. It's got a lot of them, doesn't it? You up You mule You rule You pupil You flew Qua X X. Okay, we're going to have a little scavenger hunt in our student notebooks. So before we go any further, I would like you to find me the page that could help you on a test or during a foundations lesson. Which page could help you if you're having trouble with your glued sounds? You try to find that page while I put these cards back. Did you find it? What page number? 5, yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Point to the glued sound, ing. Spell it for me. I-N-G. Good. Point, you should be pointing in this page. Point to the glued sound, onk. Spell it. O-N-K. Point to the glued sound, ank. Spell it. A-N-K. Nice job. Okay, now I want you to go and see what page could you look on if you're having trouble with all these vowel sounds. Okay. Yeah, on page 9, you have your own little poster, just like I have. If you are struggling with these, I would go get some crayons or colored pencils and really take your time and color the ones that you're struggling with and say it over and over. So for example, if the I champion E is tricky, champ-E-on, color that little girl holding up her trophy and keep saying it. I champion E. I champion E. Or if the crybaby one is tricky, why cry I, why baby E. Color that little baby and just keep repeating it and thinking about it. Say that word cry. Oh yeah, it does sound like an I. Baby. It does sound like an E. If you're trying to just memorize all these words, it's hard. You have to think about the purpose for having the words to help you. Okay, what page could you look on if you're having trouble with glued sound, closed syllable, exceptions? Those are the ones on my board up here. What page? 10. And why do we call them exceptions? Because all of the vowels in them say the long sound. or they don't say what's expected. Okay, take your finger and point to the sound that says oast. Spell it. O-S-T. Good. Point to the one that says ind. Spell it. I-N-D. Great. Okay, and what do you have on the next page here, guys? Page 11. R controlled vowels. Okay. Can you point to the one that says How do you spell That's right, that was a trick. It could be ER, IR, or UR. They all say Good. And sometimes in here you're going to see ones that we haven't learned yet, like doctor. It's an OR, but it sounds like So if you see them in here, don't get confused. It can't hurt to see it, but you'll learn it when we get to it. Okay. And then next I want to know, where in your notebook could you go if you can't remember what some of the sound-alikes mean? Look through the notebook. Where can you find the sound-alikes? Aha, there it is. It's the very last section. They're all in there. Some of you might have had this notebook last year and might have definitions for some of them. And some of you might not. You might just have the ones we're adding this year, and that's okay, but it's a place you can look. You should all have these words we've done. Thrown, thrown, flower, flower. You should all have those added, hopefully. Okay, let's see. What else can I quiz you with in this notebook? Where could you look if you have a trick word that always tricks you up? We all have them, even adults. Yeah, the trick word section. And don't forget, there's all this extra space down here that if you have another word that you frequently misspell, you should add it in the right way. This is something that I would expect to see out while you're writing. Instead of having a dictionary on your desk, you could look here. Everything you need can be in this notebook, especially when you take your test with your teacher. Take your time and use this notebook. The more that you do it the right way, the more you'll remember it. All right, so enough about that. Let's do a little bit of practice, shall we? Let's read a few words, and then I'll have you write a few words to get you all ready for that test. Let's see. Why don't we start by reading some? I am going to get one of my syllable frames, and I'm going to write a base word. What's my base word say, everyone? Nasty. What does the Y sound like? E, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and label it like a long E. Nasty. Now, what if I want to say it's even nastier when she doesn't put the trash out? Stinks up the house. Yeah, I'll add my suffix er. Am I done? Nope, I have to change the Y to an I, but it still sounds like the E. Nastier. Okay. Try reading this one for me. My base word is, what's this base word? Fry. I'm going to fry up some food. Oh, wait, I'm not going to do it. I already did it. So let me add the suffix ending ed. I fried it yesterday. Fry, I. This sounds like a long I. So let me put my long I up here. Am I done? No, I have to change this. Change it to an I. Now let me do one more. What if, instead of fried, what if I was frying some food for you right now? I'm going to go ahead and add the ing. The Y still says what? Still says long I. Frying. Do I change anything? No, the Y stays. How come? Because if the suffix starts with I, it stays as a Y. Very good remembering. Are you ready to try some? Okay, get your whiteboard out or your paper. Doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. Your word is copier. She really wanted a new copier machine, said all the teachers always. Copier. If you want to write base word plus suffix equals copier, you can. Or if you're ready to just write the whole word, you can do that too. Okay, if you did it this way, it would look like that. And your final answer would look like this. And let's underline the base word and circle the suffix. So the base word is copy. The suffix is the And let's put the sound above the I. Cop-e-er. It sounds like a long E. Okay, why don't you erase and try this one. Dried. She dried the dishes. Pause here to do dried and come back when you're ready to check. You're back. Did you mark it? I want you to underline the base word, circle the suffix, and any Y's that changed, I want you to write what the Y sounds like. Okay, check it to mine. Dried. Long I sound in the base word dry. All right, erase, erase, erase. Let's go ahead and try another word. Repeat after me. Emptying. She is emptying the dishwasher. Pause here to write emptying. You're back. How'd you do? What's the base word? Empty. What's the suffix? Ing. Did you change anything? No, because the suffix started with I. Good for you for remembering. Emptying. Make sure you mark it up. Okay, next word. Babied. They babied his sister a little bit. Base word would be baby, suffix, babied. Okay, pause if you need more time. And if you're back, let's underline the base word, circle the suffix, and write the sound that was changed. Check it to mine. Babied. Kind of looks funny, but it's correct. All right. I think that's enough for now. After you erase, I want to give you some super secret information. I'm going to tell you what's going to be on the test. That's right, the test. I'm looking at it right now. Don't tell your teachers. You're going to have to write all the sounds for a couple of those long vowels. So make sure you know all the ways to do long E and I and A and O and the short sounds. Okay, the next thing that's going to be on the test are some sound-alike words. Your teacher's going to give you a definition. Like she might say, the queen is sitting on her throne. And you'll have to write throne. You have to spell it correctly and use the right throne. There's no reason not to spell it correctly because you have them in here. Okay. The next thing on your test, you're going to have 5 words that are going to be words plus suffix endings. We've practiced those so much, I'm sure you'll be great. Just take your time on them and check them over. And then the last thing is that you'll have to mark them. And you'll have to mark if the I that you changed sounds like a long E or a long I. What do you think? Are you ready for the test? Okay, if you don't feel ready, now you know what's on it. You can practice it by looking in your notebook and practicing some words just like that. I know you'll be great. Okay, no stress, just do your best.